Hello everyone, Luke4Smith here and welcome to Thursday's video. It's the 14th of January 2021. It's gone 11 o'clock, so I'm going to make this quick little video. This is going to be of a tier list, so let me just bring this down right here. I really thought someone just called me. Let me just adjust this a little bit more. That'll do. Okay, so this is the tier list for the all Resident Evil games up to 2020. So I already did a tier list before, which was a fast food tier list. This is like S, A, B, C, D, and F. For some reason that's not an E. F doesn't come after D, so I'll just leave it like that. I don't really mind. So what I'm gonna do is, this is going to be my own tier list that I'm going to be making. Basically, the way I rate the Resident Evil games my way. So let us actually get into it. So the first one, Resident Evil 2, the original. Resident Evil 2 is one of my favourites. The original one is like one of my favourites. In fact, it is the first ever Resident Evil game I ever played. Well, I didn't play it. My uncle got it like years and years ago. It was actually like late 1998. We got it, and the game came out in January of 1998. Great if I'm a next door neighbour, he let us borrow it. So you know what, it is good. I really like it, but I'm gonna put it on as a because it is good, but it's not like the best in my opinion, but it is one of my favourites. Resident Evil Code Veronica. Again, it is a good game. I really enjoy it and a lot of people love it. However, it is long and a little bit tedious, but at the same time it's got a fantastic storyline in my opinion. So it's got a really good storyline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down as an A, because it is a decent game. The reason why I'm not putting Resident Evil 2 original in as an S tier, as like the really top tier, is because a lot of people will be doing that. A lot of people will be like putting it right at the top. No, it has its like certain problems, but it's still a really good game. Alright, Resident Evil, what is that? Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles, I think that is. Dark Side Chronicles, obviously it's like a recap, it's like a remake of Resident Evil 2 and Code Veronica, with an added addition of a scenario called Operation Javier. Basically it's like a retelling, keeps up to speed on it. It came out in 2009, I believe. It's good. I don't mind it. It's fun. It's an on the rail first person shooter, so it's fun, and it brings back a lot of memories, especially for the Resident Evil 2. It's like a short abridged version. So what I'm going to be doing is, even though I love it, I don't mind it. I never really got into it as much, which is the only problem. So I'm going to give it a C tier, because it's not my personal favourite, but it's up there. All right, Resident Evil Outbreak. Is this Outbreak or File 2? They're basically the same game, but with different scenarios. I never played it much. I got to admit, it is not one of my favourite ones. I never played it as much. I didn't like the way things worked in it. Like, you was timed all the way through it, and it was like a little bit tedious doing this. Item management, dropping items, giving items and receiving items, that sort of thing. I never did do the online co-op play, because on the PS2 it never actually came out in the UK. I think it's like Japanese only for the online stuff, but I never got into it. I just really never got into it. I'm not going to put it as an F. I'm going to put it as a D, mainly because it's still decent and playable. It's just me, I never really got into it. Resident Evil 4. I actually remember when I actually got this. Actually, is this still recording? Yeah, it's still recording. Okay, it's good. Yeah, I remember when I got this. I got this out of CEX of all places, like a cheaper store than from the Game Shop UK. I got this for the GameCube, and it came out for every single platform imaginable. Fantastic game. You love it. I basically unlocked everything in it for every single edition of this game. You know what, I'm going to stick it as an S tier because I love going through it over and over and over again. Like the newest edition I've got for it, then from the newest platform is the PlayStation 4. The only thing I haven't got it on is because I feel it's pointless. Is the Nintendo Switch. That's the only platform I don't have it on. Not because I wasn't interested. I just found it pointless to get it on that when I've got it on the PS4 and PS3 and every other console. Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil. I actually, first time I played this was when I beat Resident Evil 2 back in '98. I got this straight after. Borrowed it obviously, like next door neighbours basically said, there you go, borrow this to play it. So it's like same year that I got the original Resident Evil 2. It started off the entire series, so you'd expect me to put it up here somewhere, but it is good. It started off the series, it had really cheesy lines, but I'm gonna have to stick it as an A tier, not an S tier, because it did have some difficulty with it, even though I'm pretty alright playing it now. No auto aim, which is a bit of a pain, but obviously that only come up in Resident Evil 2, and even then you had to like choose the third control method to activate auto aim. Alright, Resident Evil Remake first came out in 2002 for the GameCube. Great game. I'm saying all these games are great. Really lovely, amazing graphics. I've got to admit the graphics are great. The story is good. It's a nice remake of the original, so it is decent. But I can't really put it as an S tier. That's the only problem, because it's like, again, it had like difficulty spikes, but I can basically play it and get like 100% done on it. But it's not my personal favourite, so I'm gonna do a B on that. So it's still pretty good, but not my personal favourite. Resident Evil 2 Remake. I've got a thing underneath my nail. There we are. Resident Evil 2 Remake. It is a great game. I admit, it's like we was waiting since 2015 for information about Resident Evil 2 Remake. Ever since they teased us with "Redo It" slogan, we knew we was going to get a Resident Evil 2 Remake. We just didn't know when. And then it was 2019. Yeah, 2019 rolled up, and it came out fantastic. The only problem I have with it is because even though it's got like both scenarios for both players, they're the same thing. It's like there's no like other optional areas, and they don't really get to explore the city as much, which is a bit of a bummer, really. And they should have had like different areas. I mean, I know they had the orphanage for Claire and the extra back streets for her, and they had like the Kendo gun shop, new remade for Leon, and the extra sewers, but I feel that they could have made it a bit better than what they should. However, regardless, it's still great. I think it's excellent still. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to stick it into an S tier because I just love it so much. It's really good. I've also unlocked, well, I bought the DLC for Infinite stuff. Alright, Resident Evil 3 Remake. Again, it is good. It is great. It came out in 2000, when the pandemic started, so yay for that. Bit of a weird game to release at the big start of a giant pandemic. It's way too short, and they cut a lot of things out. They cut the park out, they cut the clock tower out, they cut the graveyard out, which was a part of Liam Park, which, yeah, unfortunately they cut stuff out that could have been putting into it, and they made it way too short. Unfortunately, it felt rushed, and yeah, I'm gonna put it as a B tier because it is great, but it's not like the best. It's not up there with Resident Evil 2 remake. Resident Evil 5 came out in 2009. The main feature was co-op in it. I think it's amazing. It is a decent game. However, the best thing to play it with is on co-op, because computer gets a little bit boring. But I have on the PS3 version, which I've got it on first off, I've unlocked infinite ammo for every single weapon on it. It's amazing. I'd love to dig out my PS3 and actually play it again. I have got it on PS4, but I only played it like a couple of times and they basically just left it. So if I wanted to play it again, I could go on the PS3 and do it. It's great, and I'm actually going to put it as an A tier, because it's not like the best, but it is still fun to do. Resident Evil 6, never played it. I'm sorry to say, but I have not got into it. Unfortunately, I played like the first 10 minutes of it and I just put it down because the control scheme didn't really agree with me, and I just didn't really understand the controls as much. I know that it was like back in 2013 when I last played it, and it's now 2021, so I should really pick it up and play it again, but I just really did not get into it, unfortunately. I'm gonna stick it down as a D, because I didn't really enjoy it. I've seen gameplay of it, yeah, I've seen walkthroughs of it and speedruns of it, and it's a great game, but for me, I just never really got into it. It was one of my least favourites, unfortunately. I'm not going to be a dick and give it an F. I'll give it a D instead. Okay, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard came out in 2016 or 17, one of the two. It really went far and beyond, because like all motion capture stuff, all like VR, and they really pushed the boundaries because there are really hot horror elements. Really fantastic, to be fair. I quite enjoyed it. I really liked the actual route they taken with this, like a step back to the original roots, sort of feel like the original Resident Evil roots. So I really love it for that sort of thing. I have played it a lot of times and it's quite fun. However, I do feel like that part with the ship should have been either a cutscene or a bit more to it, because I felt that was a little bit boring, to be fair. However, it was still pretty good. The enemies could have been done a bit more better, to be fair, rather than having the exact same type of enemy every single time. But really good, really good bosses, great storyline. It'll be amazing to see what Resident Evil 8 can hold. So I'm gonna put it on an S tier, even though I have my problems with it. I still want to give it an S. Resident Evil Dead Aim. There's a game that I haven't played in a long time. It only came out for the PS2. I have played it a few times and it is fun. It is part third person, part first person. First person is the shooting part of it, but exploration is third person. The dialogue is a bit off key, a little bit, I feel, and the game is short. you're only going through like 2 areas, which is the ship and the underground facility. I mean, I know there's like a laboratory there, but there's like, it feels like it's only like 2 major areas that you explore. Interesting bosses, I must say, really interesting bosses, but it's too short, and even though it's canon to the game, you never see you never see the 2 main characters ever again, which I think that's a shame. They use them as like a throwaway characters and you're never to see again. At least with Resident Evil 7 you get to see Ethan again in Resident Evil 8, so you know what's going to happen to him. With these 2, you have no idea what's going to happen to them. You have no idea. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put it as a C tier, because I feel the game's too short and there should have been more character development with it. Resident Evil Gaiden, I never ever played it. Okay, again, I'm wrong. I keep forgetting that I have played some of these games, like a little bit of these games. It's on the Game Boy Color. I got it at a boot sale or American's flea market. I got it for about £5, and it didn't come in its box. It just come as the Game Boy Color cartridge, and that was it. I put it in my Game Boy Color, and I lost interest instantly. I don't feel it's canon, even though there's like, I have seen footage of it, but I just feel bored even watching gameplay of it, to be fair. It doesn't really fit. I'm going to give it an F because it doesn't really fit with me. It's like, if they remake it, then fine, I'll play it, but nah. Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, exactly the same as Outbreak File 1, to be fair. Didn't really enjoy it. I did get it, but I only played through the first scenario, and it's like, it's the exact same thing as Outbreak, really, so I'm going to give it the same tier as Outbreak. Resident Evil Revelations. I just noticed that, oh yeah, Revelations is there. Resident Evil Revelations came out for the 3DS, and then it came out for the PS3 and PS4. I only got it for the 3DS. I have played it and I have enjoyed it. The only problem is I put it down and I forgot to go back to it. So I've never played it for the full extent. I have seen footage of it, I've seen gameplay of it. It's a unique storyline. I like the way that they went with this, like the horror elements. It looks like, again, another game that went back to its roots. It looks really claustrophobic because it's set on a ship for the most part, or ships, and it looks really decent. It's not the best of the best, but it is decent. So I'm going to give it an A tier, because I just like the story of it, really. Now, Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. This is another Chronicles game which retells the events, which lets you play retelling the events of Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 3, as well as 2 extra scenarios which gives information about what Wesker does and Chris and Jill when they go to the Russian Umbrella base. I love it. I really love it. I have completed it a few times. It's really good, and it's really great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it an S, because it's a great retelling, to be fair. Resident Evil Survivor came out for the PlayStation in 2000. I've got it at the side of me. It's in a little case. Resident Evil Survivor was like a really good game. But again, it was cheesy as anything. I play it for the fun of it. I don't even though it's canon, I think, but I think it needs a remake. Like, if they can do a VR game on it, then it'll be fantastic, but they probably won't. However, it's fun. It's a guilty pleasure, to be fair. So it's a fun little game. However, I'm not going to put it up too high. I'm going to give it a B tier. I'm not going to give it an F because I don't feel it sucks. I think it's still pretty good. Resident Evil 0 came out in 2002. A few months later, or before Resident Evil came out, the remake came out for the GameCube, and then like later generations, it got like HD remaster sort of thing. I only played it a few times. Like last time I played it was for the PS4, which was last year when it first came out for the PS4. Downloaded it, played it once, and then that was it. I never did leech mode. I just played it once just to basically say I played it. It is good. It basically tells how Umbrella first started, sort of thing. So yeah, it is pretty good. However, the controls and like zapping system, it gets some getting used to, and some elements is a bit hard, to be fair. And on them bloody leech monsters as well. Oh, hate them. And very limited inventory and a lot of item management, dropping and picking up weapons, that sort of thing. For that, I am going to give it. Let's see. I'll give it a B. I'm not going to give it a C. Okay. The Mercenaries 3D. I don't have it. I don't have it. The reason why I didn't get it is because it's basically a side game, ain't it? They just got the side games of every single Resident Evil game that had Mercenaries. They put it on the 3DS and up-ramped it a bit. So I've never played it, so I'm going to give it a C because it looks fun, but it's not story based and it's not really canon. Umbrella Corporation, I've never played it. I have never ever played it. I've never touched it. Mainly because again it's not canon. I don't think it's part of the story. I mean, I know, yeah, it probably tells what Umbrella got up to, but again, it's more like the Mercenaries. It's not that great, to be fair. It doesn't even look as good, so stick it down there, give it an F, I don't care. Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, yes, it has a storyline. I've played it, I like borrowed it from a friend to play because I didn't really feel like spending my money buying myself a copy. So it's got a decent storyline. However, there's an option to kill Leon in it, and Leon meets up with these umbrella people, and so does Gil. Well, we know Gil meets up with the Mercs, but not in the way of this game does it. So I don't feel like this is 100%. I'm gonna give it a D, because I don't feel it's that great. I don't think it's important to the story, to be fair. I don't think it's 100% canon. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the original, came out in 1999. Great game. It's a lot more to it than the remake of Resident Evil 3. I'm going to give this an A tier because it is good. It is really good. However, there is a like, to get on hard mode to get all the ammo and weapons from Nemesis is a bit of a chore, and that's something I really hate because I always play these games on easy first just to get used to them, and then do them on harder mode, and that's really hard to kill Nemesis, especially if you try to like kill him on hard mode and like having to manage your items and like combine gunpowders and that. Alright, so Resident Evil Revelations 2, it was actually released in chapters. You buy and download a chapter every single week, and I think it was a really good idea for that. It's a short game, I gotta admit. I actually beat it within like 3 hours. Oh well, in all, after I actually got all the stuff. It's a really decent game. It came out for the PS4. And I quite enjoyed it. I did not mind it at all. I thought it was a really decent game. It brought back Claire Redfield and introduced Moira Burton as Barry Burton's daughter, and had really good story. Oh, what happened? No, I don't want to put it there yet. Really good story elements for it. It introduced Alex Wesker properly, and another Wesker involved. I didn't mind it at all. Kind of wish the chapters were a bit longer and they added like more chapters, which they did. They added DLC, like 2 DLC scenarios, which fleshed out what happened in between the 6-month gap of Claire scenarios and Barry's. So it was pretty decent. I did not mind it. I am going to stick that as an A tier, like that. Resident Evil Deadly Silence DS, like one of the first DS games to have a Resident Evil title. Basically this is Resident Evil, the original one, for the DS. He has a new mode that you can have, like rebirth mode. You can use a touch screen and microphone to do different things. They added a lot of stuff in it, and this is the best version of the original game. To be fair, I absolutely love this. I haven't got director's cut like the original director's cut. However, it is on the PlayStation Classic, and when the money does go down for that game, for that console, I'm gonna get it just for director's cut. What I'm gonna do, even though this is great, I'm gonna give it an A tier, because even though it's a really good game, I don't think it's on par as what my S's are. Okay, and Resident Evil Resistance. This was a free game bundled up with Resident Evil 3 Remake. It actually came out at the same time, didn't it? I didn't really get into it. I really didn't. I did not get into it. I know they released a ton of new content for it, like DLC stuff for it, but it's not. Again, I don't feel it's canon, even though people are basically theorising the characters' involvements, how they got captured, and if they turned into any monsters in later games. I don't really feel like it's canon to the series as much. I'm gonna give it a C. You know what? I'll give it a B, because it does look interesting, but I haven't played it as much to actually focus on it as much. So that was my tier list for Resident Evil games as of 2020. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good old look and see my list. Can't believe I've been recording for almost half an hour now. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna get this up as soon as possible. Probably won't even like edit it, because I just upload it as it is really. I'm gonna leave it here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in another video.